Hey there, I'm Robert, and welcome to the Robert Seeley Project. This is me documenting the biggest project of my life, building a homestead, a small farm and nursery, and figuring it all out as I go, and sharing all the ups and downs along the way. I've got a lot of ideas, not always the cleanest execution, but I'm out here trying to make it happen. But before we get into all of that, let me show you where this journey actually started.
So, a few years back, I was living in a suburb called Pittsford, just outside of Rochester, New York. Had a half-acre lot, and I used every square inch of it. Built a big garden, a greenhouse, a shed, treehouse, patio, decks, and probably more playgrounds than most parks. My grandkids, Eli and Juliet, they visited all the time, and I made sure there was always something fun for them to do. Rope swings, fire pits, trampolines, you name it. I even replaced the roof on my house with a little help from my neighbor and his crew. I'm not a heights kind of guy, but I was the best ground person on the job. I even put up new siding on my house myself. That yard was basically one big project. But even with all that, something started to feel off. I couldn't see the stars at night. You'd hear highway traffic while sitting by the fire. It took 5 minutes sometimes to get out of my driveway because of the amount of traffic. Backyard camping with the grandkids, more like sleeping next to a freeway. I started thinking, what would it be like to have space, real space, peace and quiet, and maybe some stars again? So in the spring of 2024, I started looking for land. I went to a handful of open houses, made a list of what I wanted, and yeah, I even scribbled it all out on a whiteboard like a mad scientist. Then I found this place, and on June 12th, 2024, I closed. That's when it all became real.
This channel isn't about perfection, it's about progress. I'm building out a homestead. Some days it goes smooth, other days not so much. But I'm here sharing it all, the wins, the lessons, and probably a few facepalm moments along the way. And hopefully it inspires you to take on your own projects.
So what's next then? What are the projects that I have coming up? Well, first, one of the first projects is I got all these plants started in my grow room. Sorry, the full color spectrum sort of messes with my video a little bit, but I'll be out here quick. I got dill, broccoli, basil, some cauliflower, eggplant, some bunch of different peppers, cucumbers. I got my Roma tomatoes, my beefsteak tomatoes, a lot of stuff. Basically filling up the grow room. So I have to build a cold frame because I got to empty this grow room so that I can restart the second batch of seeds that I need to get going for the farm. Another thing I got on my list is finishing my workshop and repair shop. Why? Well, there's nothing worse than trying to get a project done when you can't find a tool or know where you've hit it. I've only been in this house 10 months, and it takes a long time when you got a lot of stuff to get it organized, especially if you don't have room for everything, which is one of the big things I ran into. Luckily, the house came with a 3-car garage. The first 2 bays is more for storage of equipment and my truck, but this third bay I've turned into a workshop, repair shop. I built a wall down the center. I'm getting all my nuts and bolts on the wall, and then I'll get all my wrenches and all my needed equipment set up where if I need it, when I need it, it's there. So this is on the list. A bunch of these things I'm going to go through, probably not in any priority, but it is a bunch of the projects that I got coming up. Another thing on the list is a chicken coop, which really is going to come to the top of the list really soon. Actually, starting the end of next week. I got the lumber all ready. I got the design. I'll do a whole another video on that. But my daughter Megan's stepsister Kelly, her and her husband Rob, started eggs for me. So I've got 12 or 13 chicks coming in about 3 or 4 weeks. So I got a time deadline. I got to build the coop. Then I have a 10 by 20 foot run cage that goes over the coop. And I still got to prep the area where it's going to be, which is going to be back in the woods. So I have some limits for the chickens right now. I can't put them down on the farm. I have no electric, I have no water. It's a little too far away for me right now. I want to get near the house. So I'm about 40 or 50 feet away from the house. I got an area here that I have to start prepping. I'm going to level it. And then I want to get a layer of wood chips down, and then I can put my chicken coop and the run inside it. That's, as I mentioned, is one of the main priorities. Starting tomorrow, yeah, you can't see it, but over the house, I have a big basswood. We'll run up there right now. That's the real immediate project. I have a tree crew coming in tomorrow that are going to rope this tree down for me. And it's up to me to get rid of all the wood, the brush and everything. I actually work with the crew. Let's see if I can get it. That's that big guy right there. Big basswood that's hanging right over the house. So our goal tomorrow is to get all that on the ground. And then I got to figure out, I need to get the brush down to the farm area. And then the wood, just get it into an organized area so I can cut it up and then come in with my tractor and forks and pick up the wood and then move it over into my log holding area. I took down close to 10 trees last fall when I first moved in. And a lot of that wood is still sitting there, mainly because I had no real place. Well, I didn't get the splitter till late in the season. And I was more worried about splitting wood for the winter, which basically all I did is go into the woods and find all the dead trees that were laying around, mainly locusts, get them cut up, and that's what I burned all winter. But along with the piles of wood, I have a wood shed that I'll need to finish up here. I got the basin last fall before it got too cold. Got a stone basin, and I built a wall this spring when the weather, I got a couple early days where the weather was nice, and I even got the base set in there. Another project that's not as critical as a couple of the other projects, like the chicken coop and taking down the tree and making sure the plants are growing so they're ready to grow for the farm, which, you know, Memorial Day-ish is coming quick, so a lot of deadlines, a lot of issues to resolve before I get things in the ground. I already did a video on the shed. The one thing about the shed, it's not a immediate project, but one thing I do want to get done this year is I'm going to put a small wraparound deck on the front of the shed. It is the first thing you see as you come up my driveway, so I want to dress it up so to make it look balanced against the house and make it like it's a little bungalow more than a shed. Landscape the area. I still have some wall stone left from when I built the wall behind the shed, and I'm gonna put another wall around this tree here so I can protect the roots. And that's another. Hang on, there is more. So down in the farm area, I got the bed prepped last year. I do have to till that and get that one more time, get it freshened up for the spring. I'm waiting on the water. It's a pretty wet area, and we've gotten so much rain this spring, it just hasn't dried out. But if you look around, you'll see there's all sorts of brush down where I prune the apple trees. There's brush. There's a whole bunch laying here from trees I cut down last year. That, and then all the brush from that basswood I'll be taking down. Plus I got stuff laying around. Another priority before I can complete the wood or the chicken coop is I gotta get a chipper in here, which I found a place that rents a good sized chipper that can take 4 to 6 inch wood. I gotta get that in there, chip it all up, get a pile. That way I can put a base in for the chicken coop. I got some chips to make a couple paths in the garden area, at least to walk on, not to cover the plants. I don't put wood chips around plants, but they are fantastic for paths. So those are just a few of the projects I got on my list. I got plenty more, but just give you a sense of what's going to be coming up in future videos. So here's how the whole thing's going to work. The Robert Seeley Project, this channel, is kind of the behind the scenes. This is where I'll take you through every win, every failure, every wild idea I try to bring to life out here. You'll see personal stories, building projects, family moments, the real life side of building a dream from the ground up. But if you're looking for gardening advice, landscape tips, or how to actually grow the things I'm planting, that's going to be over at my other channel, which is called Sunset Oaks Farm and Garden. That is my second channel. It's still in development, and it's about education, how-tos, and useful info. I'm even working on a weekly video series at a local garden center. Something like top 5 things happening at your garden center this week, where we highlight what's blooming, what to plant now, and what's trending in the plant world. So finally, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, follow along, watch the journey, share the journey. If anything, it'll be sometimes humorous. There may be some oopses once in a while, but that's part of the game. Again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.